Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So now that we're finished the last bed frame, we're going to do another one. This one's a little bit different. Same basic idea, except a different design. So sit back, relax, enjoy the video. What we're doing now is we're just going to start off by cutting everything down to its approximate lengths. That's it. That's all I have to say. Because you're just going to watch me sit there and cut things and fast forward for like 5 minutes. Maybe not that long, but it's at least long enough for you to, be bored of listening to me explain what I'm doing. So therefore I'm just narrating nothing instead. Got some dance moves happening. And once again, we're still just cutting stuff because, it's what we do when we're making wooden furniture. We just cut and cut and put it together and then pretend that we know what we're doing. See, here is actually, step 2 of squaring a board process. If you look over to the center left of the screen, you'll see that the jointer is dirty. Or not dirty, but full of wood chips. We would have ran all this stuff through there first, but in classic working fashion, I totally forgot to do that. But if you watch the saw blade right now, you're going to notice in a second that it's going to jump a little bit. See that? That's why feather boards or not pushing from the outside of the table saw is important, because that can cause kickback. We don't want kickback, and that's how you lose your fingers. So keep that in mind. You don't want the saw to bounce. It's not a good thing. On a scale of 1 to 10, this tool is awesome for spreading glue. It's simply just a piece of plastic clipped to the end of a stick with a bunch of little slots cut in it. A friend of mine with a 3D printer made it up for me, and it's awesome for spreading glue because then your hands don't get all dirty and it gets nice coverage. It's like a mini trowel. After the glue's all spread up, we did our glue ups. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 boards because we're going to be planing these down into blocks. And now you've noticed we got the first one done. We did a second one, and there's no glue in between those 4th and 5th boards. We're just clamping them together so we can clamp 2 sets of glue ups with the least amount of clamps. Works pretty good, makes me happy, makes things go faster. Why wouldn't you do it? Just do it. It's great. Try it. You should probably pause the video and go try that. If you haven't tried it, just find some wood, go try it. Please. You'll love it. Here at the miter saw, I've got my helper Matthias there. He's also not my brother-in-law. What would he be? He's the husband of my niece. So nephew-in-law? I have no idea. Anyways, he flushed up the ends of theirs. We cut them off. Nice and square. So now with those blocks you saw us glue up before, I didn't show you me running through the jointer and planer because we were busy working and I forgot again. But anyways, we're putting the pallets together, the fake pallets. So we're making a pallet bed out of fake pallets so it can look like a pallet bed. I'm not sure how much sense that makes, but it makes enough sense to me to be able to do a job for it. So anyways, that's where we're at. We're doing this, putting together, using pin nails to hold the spot, all the blocks in place, because otherwise they move around like crazy, and it's a pallet bed, so instead of screws, we use pin nails, so they don't show up as much. Looks a little nicer. I'm happy, customer's happy, and now we're just going to start cleaning up all the glue, all the squeeze out, so we don't have to scrape it off as much. Probably should have done this a little bit better than we did, because later on the squeeze out on the insides I had to really clean up with the chisel, and it was not. I don't like doing that. It's too awkward. It's a lot better just to clean up right away, or to clean it up in 15 minutes. Anyways, first job with the Festool Domino. That tape job on the bottom left side of the corner to hold on my shop vac hose because I don't have the right hose yet, or a dust extractor. It was a pretty hack job. It fell off lots. made me really mad. But the tool is awesome, and it saves me a lot of time. This first job with it, like I said, I'm very happy with it, and it's going to get lots of use from here on out. That's for sure. Put some glue in those holes. And a little tappy with a hammer. This is one thing. See that glue that came out the end grain? You don't want to do what I'm doing with the hammer right here. At least not as hard as I was going. I've learned that since this project. And what happens is that you get a hydraulic lock, it blows glue out the sides. I've always used dowels and never had a problem, but Domino's definitely noticed that it's just a lot more glue in surface area, a lot more pressure. Works good, but you have to watch for that. So that's what we're doing. We're building the headboard at this point. Nothing too crazy. I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with it. I probably should have figured that out long before I started putting it together. Look at, set it on the floor, put the next piece on the top. This was a nice solid way to do it. I actually wasn't originally planning on using the domino for this job, but I just got so excited that I had it that, you know, had to figure out some way to use it. So this is what I did. I decided to do it this way. And it worked good. Definitely fell in love with it at this point. So after we went for coffee and let that dry up a bit, we came back and those boards you saw cut up, we are putting them onto the headboard. And you'll see that there's going to be a gap at the bottom side there where the I guess the head section of the frame is going to connect and make it bigger. So it's the headboard's all in part with the frame. You'll see in a few seconds or minutes. Anyways, it's happening. We're making a pallet bed. It's starting to look like more like a pallet. There's even some rough sections on there, which I probably could have sanded out better, but they wanted a pallet bed, so I wasn't too worried about it at the time. It drove me nuts. I probably should have did it for my own good. But they're happy anyways, so that's what matters. One of my biggest annoyances with being in the garage is constantly setting up and tearing down my table saw because I have to use it as a table because I don't have any spots to work. It's a big pain in the butt. Currently looking at a shop, might be moving in there for the next video, maybe the next one after that. I'm not entirely sure. But we'll see what happens. So now that we've got those put together, anyways, we are set the table saw back up to do this because, yeah, anyways, we had to do it again. We are just putting pocket screws in to hold the head frame to the footboard, or to the head frame, the headboard to the foot. I don't know, one of these things. This is just a little accent piece. It goes on the side of the bed. You can step up on it, keep your stuff closer to you. Literally just there for looks, I'm pretty sure, because unless you're only 3 inches tall, you don't really need a step to get onto this bed. Just gives it a little nice flair. Customer asked for it, so therefore they get it. And they can move around. They can put it on the footboard, they can put it on the side of the bed, wherever they want it to go. It's a perfect spot for it and does add a little bit of aesthetic appeal. Once again, we're just using pin nails to hold it all together while the glue dries. Make sure it's nice and solid. So on the side rails, we're just assembling them. We're just putting little panels in so you can't accidentally lose stuff under the bed and not be able to get it. You see there's the top rail is a little bigger than the bottom rail, so we can put slats in there. That way people can actually set a mattress on it and not just sag into the center. I figured that was an important role of a bed, is not sagging. That's why we did it that way. Now I'm gone. And I'm back. We're using a round over bit to quickly just soften the edges. Nobody wants slivers. Here's that glue cleanup I was telling you about with the chisel. Pain in the butt. trying to reach in there and clean that out. Should have been a lot better job at that. But you know, live and learn. If you can't learn, then what's the point? And here on the headboard, we decided, I wasn't going to do this, but I decided to put these in anyways because, you know, losing stuff under the bed is not fun, especially when it's this low and you can't really get in there to do anything. So we just block it all off. Nice hiding spots. Or not hiding spots. Okay, so now all I have to do is sand it, rotor off some sharp edges so nobody cuts themselves. That'd be the worst thing to happen in your bed. And finish it off. Let's get going. On to sanding. That's what it is. It's just sanding. There's a way to do sanding that's proper, and there's a way to do sanding that's not proper. The proper way is to go very slow. So that way your sanding just scratches it up like crazy. That way you don't really see any of the scratch marks from the sanding disc. And you finish with some hand sanding to make sure that all of the sanding marks, if there was any that you missed or that were a little deeper than other ones, get sanded out. So here we're going around with my chisel, putting out more glue again because I didn't preemptively think about that, and it took me forever to clean this up. That's not really billable time because I could have done it earlier and done a lot faster the way I normally do things, but you know, live and learn. Live and learn. Wipe it down, make sure there's no glue spots coming out. That's about it. That's about it for this section. It's just a lot of wiping down after sanding, getting all the dust out of everything and bringing it to another spot so it doesn't get dusty again. And you know what that means? Since we're cleaning everything and wiping everything down, that tells us it's about time to put finish on. So once that mineral spirits dries off of this, we can start. And then the finish is going to look real nice. So I completely forgot to record putting finish on, which is usually the part that people want to see. More than anything else in the whole video, that's generally what people want to see. And didn't do it. So we didn't do it. I'm putting some little strips in here to raise up the paneling. Not the paneling, the slats. So they sit nice and flush at the top. Because if I didn't do that, then it's going to sit down a little bit. You can get weird little bull sections, and that's not what you want. I could have planed this material down to that same thickness, but that was just a whole bunch of extra work that I could have installed a little strip. We're marking center here, dead center, and what that's going to do is allow us to put a center board in there for the slats to sit on. Once the slats sit on there nicely, then we're pretty much done. I got this hardware off of Amazon. It's really nice. It's actually made for fences, but it's beautiful. It's really nice heavy gauge metal. Doesn't look cheap. Doesn't feel cheap. Goes on beautifully, and it just adds a nice premium touch underneath. Here we are putting the slats on. They're just 1x4s, and I figured out exactly the spacing that they needed to get a nice optimal amount. Then I went out and I cut a whole bunch of tiny little spacer blocks. This is an awesome tip because it goes really fast. You set them in there, pin nail them down, and no matter how many times the customers take it apart and put it together, they're pretty much guaranteed that the slats will always be spaced evenly. They won't move, they won't shift under the mattress. It's all good. All good things. All good things. There's me pulling my pants, make sure my bum isn't showing. There we go. It's the finished product at the customer's house, installed. You see all the edges rounded off, make it look nice soft features, even though it's rounded out. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good rest of your day. get out in the shop, build something, or come back and watch some more of our videos. We got them coming once in a while. I'm trying to do them more, but just lots of time. So have a great day. We'll see you next time.